Hi guys, and welcome again to my channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and let's dive right into today's video. Today we'll be talking about something super important for everyone planning to move to Canada or that are already here and are working towards their permanent residency. Can you guess? Yes, one requirement, which is the English exam, which we always know as the famous IELTS. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with this test for all sorts of reasons. Honestly, sometimes it can be very terrifying writing the test a couple of times and over and over and over again. Not to talk about the lost monies to enroll for this exam, the countless preparations, the uncertainty of achieving the required score for you to be able to get to that CRS score that you're actually working towards. I also at a particular time, in my own process to have written IELTS about 3 times and persons about once over the period of about 3 to 4 years when I was also preparing to come to Canada. So you're not alone, guys. It's a real pain. So if you're failed IELTS once, twice, or even 5 times, don't stress. I'm here to remind you of another option to your English language test. So in January 30th, 2024, Canada approved a new English test option for all immigration programs, including express entry. And this is the PTE Core. Yes, the PTE Core. And this PTE Core is a test from persons which helps assess language ability for Canadian immigration. The PTE Core is a computer-based English test that assesses your general speaking, your writing skills, your reading skills, and your listening skills in a single test. You take the test in a small, friendly test center, and in just about 2 hours, that's the timing for the whole test. The Digital English Language Test is recognized by Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, what we know as IRCC, for various immigration, economic programs, including work, migration visas, and it uses a combination of AI and human expertise for scoring. So tell me, are you running away from AI again? Now it's in scoring your exam. So get used to it, guys. So for Canada immigration, the PTE Core test score, the requirement depends on specific programs and your goals. But generally, the CLB 7 level is required for the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the FSWP, and in all 4 abilities, that's the reading, the writing, the listening, and the speaking is what is required, which translates to scores of about 60 to 80 for reading, 69 to 78 for writing, 60 to 70 for listening, and 68 to 75 for speaking. Now, the Federal Skilled Trades Program, that's the FSTP, a CLB5 level is needed for this particular one, equating to a 42 to 50 for your reading, 51 to 59 for your writing, 39 to 49 for your listening, and 51 to 58 for your speaking. So for your study visas, the minimum PTE academic score is 60, but the exact requirements can vary by the institution. So don't force. Just make sure that you are getting the high score that you need. It's recommended to check the specific requirements for your chosen university or your college, so you know that you are, working towards what the requirement really is. So if IELTS has been haunting your dreams and draining your wallet, this might be the break you have been waiting for. So PTE Core versus IELTS. Let's talk about it. While both PTE and IELTS are acceptable for Canadian immigration, the PTE Core offers a faster result turnaround time, and it is scored entirely by technology, AI. Now, let's talk about how PTE Core might be a better fit for you if you're looking at another English language test. So drop your comments about your IELTS journey or your experience. Tell me how many times you've had it done, and let's discuss in the comment section. So if you're planning to immigrate through the Express Entry PNP or any other program, you will need to prove you can speak English. Your ability to communicate means you can survive here. Interacting with others, going to school, helping others, knowing what to say, what others are saying, basically handling your daily life. Communication. That's what the English language is trying to, assess. It doesn't mean you have to be a super eloquent person in grammar. You just need to show that you can communicate clearly, be understood, understand others. That's where this test comes into play. So Canada uses something called the Canadian Language Benchmark. I know you're familiar with this, the CLB, and your test scores get converted into the CLB levels. For the express entry, you usually will need a CLB 7 to CLB 9, depending on your program. So it's advisable to know what program you're going to and what the requirements are. For the IELTS general training, not the academic one, the English exam is actually offered all over the world, and most of the people are familiar with it. So let's be honest, IELTS has humbled a lot of people, including myself at the time. I told you I did it 3 times. But during your speaking test, you're sitting across a real person, real human being, who's judging your grammar, judging your pronunciation, judging your confidence. They expect you to speak in a certain way. Sometimes I wonder if the person across is also speaking compliant. Well, that's me thinking. Because sometimes you just wonder, can you even do better? For the writing section, this part alone has made grown adults to cry. Many people retake it over and over again because they can't hit that magic band 7 in writing. They might pass the speaking, they might pass the listening, but writing, trying to skim through is tough. For this option, you can take it on paper or computer depending on your location. And for IELTS to register, you just go to the IELTS official website, choose your country, your test center, click whether you need to do a paper-based or a computer-based, and then you pay the fee of about $340 Canadian dollars. Finally, you get your confirmation by email as to when the test will be written. So now for the CELPIP, which is fully computer-based, the speaking section is just you talking to a microphone, like just what I'm doing right now. No human is involved. A better option, I would probably say. The only downside is that it's only available in a few countries, mostly in Canada and a few places in the US. So it is not general. But this option that just came out in 2024, that's the PTE Core that we're talking about today. It was introduced in, I think, January 30th, 2024 for all the immigration programs. And what makes it special is actually that there's no human interference. There's no interaction with any human being. Nobody is sitting across your table, just you and your computer. So AI would be grading, not a human being. So there's elimination of human bias here. Nobody's judging how you pronounce, nobody's judging how you speak. If you speak clearly and you're good, then AI grades you well. So, and this is actually super fast. Within 2 days, your result is out. And this is available in over 110 countries. The PTE Academic is for student visas, while the PTE Core is for immigration. Don't confuse them. You remember the IELTS General for immigration and the Academic for students. It's just the same way, okay? So go with IELTS if that's the only option that is near to you. Well, now there are 3 options. So Find the one that suits you per location, and all that works around you. You can choose the CELPIP if you are in Canada or in the US and you prefer something like the 100% digital based test. And for the PTE Core, if that can be a great option for you if you want faster results in 2 days and can't stand human interview or interaction, or you just want something really different. You've been doing it, you've been failing it, and you just want another option, try PTE Core. See, there's no trophies for picking a harder test. The goal is for you to get a CLB7 and move on with your life. So for IELTS, CLB7 is equal to a band 6 in each of the sections, and for CELPIP, CLB7 is also a score of 7 in all the abilities. For the PTE Core, it is still aligns with the same benchmark. So my final tip here for you today is whichever test you choose, practice, practice, practice. These exams aren't just about your English skills, it's about the time and the way you strategize and understand what is expected of you in the exam. Time management is very important, and how well you understand the format. That is really what stands you apart. If you find one of the abilities difficult, seek help. And you can also practice some online questions to put you on a better spot. When you feel comfortable after all the practice, go ahead and take your test and pray that the result comes out positive. And remember, it's one of the first steps in your immigration journey. So don't waste money on this particular spot. If you made it to the end of this video, show some love, tap the like button. It helps more people see this channel and support this channel better. So drop a comment in this video if this information has helped you, and let me know if you're going to try the PTE Core in your next IELTS test. Don't forget to share and subscribe for more updates on Canada immigration, career tips, and life abroad as an immigrant here in Canada. See you in the next. Bye, guys.